And we welcome you to another episode of Hurry Hard, the Manitoba Curling Show here on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Kevin Hirschfield. Our feature club today, the Deer Lodge, where recently the Deer Lodge was host of the Senior Men's and Women's Curling Championships, the Provincial Seniors Curling Championships. In case you missed it, Shaw TV had coverage of the semifinals and the finals, so we will have interviews with the winners and recaps of those games as well in our show. Craig Baker is going to join us, the Executive Director of Curl Manitoba, to talk about the Business of Curling Symposium and why it's so important for local clubs to attend this. And then we're going to talk about the Travelers Curling Club Championship. If you don't know what that even is, we'll tell you all about it. And we will also have an interview with the defending national champions of the Travelers Championship. They come from right here in Winnipeg, the Fort Rouge Curling Club. So looking forward to that, a jam-packed show ahead. But first, here's a closer look at our feature club today, the Deer Lodge. The Deer Lodge Curling Club has been a spot near and dear to many local curlers' hearts for almost a century.
The Deer Lodge was actually started in 1919, so we're coming up on our 100th anniversary, which is exciting. It started on the south side of Portage Avenue at the end of Lyle Street, actually, and it was just 2 sheets. Then we moved to Truro on the creek, and then in 1957, the current building was built, and here we are.
Deer Lodge is home to many provincial, national, and even world championship teams. In the 30s and 40s, Jimmy Welsh's squad won 4 Manitoba men's titles, including the Canadian Championship in 1947. This bell given to Team Welsh after their Brier triumph is still displayed at the Deer Lodge, where it rings every time curlers hog their rock, and 25 cents is also donated to help the club. Welsh is also honored upstairs at the club, where the recreation area is known as the Jimmy Welsh Room. From 1981 to 1991, 6 teams won the provincial women's title from the Deer Lodge, including Darcy Kirkness's team in 1986. She's now known as Darcy Robertson, with her sister Barb Kirkness, now Barb Spencer, at third. And junior teams from the Deer Lodge have fared well, including Kelly McKenzie's 1995 Provincial, National, and World Junior Championship team, and Braden Calvert's 2-time Canadian Championship junior team, which won a world title in 2015. As the St. James Club approaches 100 years, things still remain in solid shape.
We maintain a good membership. We were always looking for new curlers, and we have room to fill a few spots for sure. But we have a strong community around us and history that allows us to kind of continue on.
And joined now by members of the 2016 National Travelers Curling Club champions, Tracy Andries, the skip, April Clausen, the lead. From Manitoba, they came right here from Winnipeg, the Fort Rouge Curling Club. You guys last November won the national title. First of all, for those of us who may not know, what are the Travelers Championships?
It's a club curling championship. So you have to get out of your club, and then they have provincials after that, regionals and provincials.
So for any average club curler like myself even, it gives them the chance to kind of compete for a national championship, correct?
Yeah, because you can't have competed in provincials in the last, I believe it's 3 years, either the juniors or the women's or the men's, whatever. You can't have competed at the provincial level.
So April, how long has this team been together for?
We've been together for 20 years.
Did you ever think at any point when you were together that you would be playing for a national championship together?
No, I think we hoped for it, but we never thought it would be possible. So with the Travelers, it makes it possible for amateur curlers. So.
Yeah, and that's excellent. And Tracy, some of your memories of nationals last year, maybe what were some of the things that stick out from going to nationals last year?
It was awesome. The whole event is great. We did go to Halifax in 2014 when it was still the Dominion, and we lost in the semis. And it was a little bit different this year because Curl Canada took it over 2 years ago. So I think it was a lot more structured this time, but it was a lot of fun. The format's the same. You have the 14 teams with Northern Ontario, all 3 territories. So you play the 2 pools, and it's the top 2 in each pool that move on.
When you went to nationals, did you expect that you could do as well as you did?
The first year, no, we were surprised. I think we played well, but you just never know, right? So this year we kind of had it in the back of our minds that was our goal, was to win, but you just never know.
And April, why do you think a tournament like this is so cool to have, is so good to have now, especially experienced it like you guys have?
Well, just because we watch the Scotties and the Briar on TV all the time. So being able to be there and using the rocks with the lights and experiencing the national event with other provinces is really cool for the once-a-week curler.
Now, this year's Travelers Provincials are at the Assiniboine Memorial Curling Club. Is this something you guys are going after again, another Travelers Provincial title?
No, we can't.
So that's okay.
Yeah, they changed the rules when we were in Halifax. You can only go every second year, just because it just gives more opportunity to the club curler.
Congrats, guys, on the national championship last year. And this year's Travelers Curling Club, we'll find out a little bit later in the show. The Provincials going at the Assiniboine Memorial in March. And speaking of national championships, let's go to highlights from the Scotties Tournament of Hearts final from St. Catharines, Ontario. The final featuring Ontario's team Rachel Homan and Manitoba's team Michelle Englot. Englot with 2 victories over Homan coming into this game. Let's pick it up in the second end. 1-0 Manitoba, and Homan with a chance to hit and roll to score 3. There's the first red. The second red goes. Make it 3 for Team Homan and an early 3-1 lead. Let's go to the 5th now, and it's 3-2 Ontario. Homan trying to get one with a draw to the 4-foot. See the sweepers on it right away, and it's going to come up short. And at the 5th end break, it's a brand new ball game. We're tied at 3. To the 7th, still tied at 3. Now, if Homan can somehow get that red out, she's going to score a bunch. So here's the attempt for at least 4. Needs to chip the red out of there, but it's going to crash on the guard, and another steal for Manitoba. And now they lead 4-3, but Homan's going to respond in the 8th end. Now already facing 2, Englot with her final stone needs to draw through a port. It's going to come up well short. So it guarantees Homan at least 2. She wouldn't be able to add a third with her final stone. So it becomes 5-4 Ontario. In the 9th, Englot needing to move this pile of rocks around to somehow get points, and she won't be able to do it, crashing on a guard. It's a steal of 1 for Ontario. 6-4 Ontario heading into the 10th end. Now Englot needs 2 to force an extra end. Homan facing 3 all of a sudden with her final stone. If she can't get a couple red out, Englot's going to have a chance to win it. But look at this, narrowly making the double takeout, and it means Englot just has a draw for 2, which she will calmly make, and that will force an extra end. What drama in St. Catharines. To the extra, and it's going to come down to the final stones. Englot's last shot, she'll stick a draw right to the 4-foot, and that will force Homan into a raise attempt to win the national title. Here we go, TSN's Vic Router with the call.
Crowd settles in a 6-6 tie. In an extra end, Manitoba sitting shot stone. Emma Miskey calling line. They got her now. Courtney Weagle, you got to run this back and catch it. Run it back. Got it for a 3rd Canadian championship. Rachel Homan.
What a battle, what a week. Rachel Homan's Ontario team off to Worlds. And once again, just an outstanding performance from Team Manitoba. Renora Westcott, Leslie Wilson, Kate Cameron, and Michelle Englot. We'll be right back on Hurry Hard.